How exciting is it that 5 weeks in, we can still get the joy from a team like that?
It was pure happiness.
It was just, they were so happy. He was shaken.
You ruined his nose. I knew you were going to do it. You painted what was there.
Literally, the only thing you touched on this painting was the nose. Everything else I painted. You painted the nose, mate.
I didn't paint the
This
nose
is on
at
you.
all.
Let's take a moment, though, for the salvage job that has happened
It's
over
not
here.
bad now, is it?
Yeah, but I think you need like more dark shadow, like higher. If you look at the picture, it's really steep angles, like up to like his cheekbones, which is level with his nose. Your shadow is like 3 inches below his nose.
Don't listen to him. He doesn't know anything about noses. Look what he did to mine.
Yeah, so we could put more dark up here.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
You've made old mate Nick look pretty tanned as well. He's spent too much time in Ibiza.
Aspirational.
Why is his nose colour different?
He's got sunscreen on, bro. Sunscreen.
Nick painted what was there as opposed to painting what wasn't there.
Oh.
Mate, I painted what was everywhere on this except for the nose. The nose is you. You're going to die with that on your conscience.
No, I'm not. I did not paint the nose at all.
What I do need is to put some white. I need, because there's obviously a light up here
Yeah.
in his office, shining down, bouncing off the dome. So I need a bit of white there. It's got to be super light. And then I want to put, once that's dried, just a little dot in the pupils, just a little shine.
Some would say similar to my pupils.
Which I think the eyes.
He's nailed it.
What is my favorite part of this? Oh, the cheeks are happy. I thought he was growing like a Wolverine style chops.
We need to put this up further, like Jake mentioned, and then we're pretty much done.
No,
Well, you blend it in. You got to blend it in using that paint because it's the same. Like it's the same shadow.
That's the problem.
You've run out of paint.
No, we have
Slight-
paint.
You know what happened last time? We ran out of... No, it's not that you run out of... Like, we have paint, but we've lost the colour.
No, I can make the colour again. I made it.
Did you?
Yeah, 100%.
He's the connoisseur.
I love the pride. Yeah, do it.
I am proud of it.
I know you are. I love it.
So you want me to tell you the recipe?
What is the
So
recipe?
you start with black,
Yep.
a little bit of white,
Yep.
mix it in,
Yep.
that's the colour.
There you go.
It's just a little bit.
It's just.
But it's all ratios, right? Like
Yeah.
you need it. You can't, You can't just get everything in one. You've got to be elegant, you've got to be majestic, and then you've got to drop in little bit by bit, mix.
Yeah.
See, because you're just brute force, and then the nose happens like that.
He did the nose.
I did not
There's
do the nose.
A lot of talking, but not a lot of painting
Not a
from
lot
me
of-
right
not a
now.
lot of
We
colours.
don't have a lot of time
Not a lot
with
of
a whole
colours.
shirt to do.
Oh, okay. Well,
Now I need something really delicate. I need like a sponge. I need this
that
bad
for you.
boy. I don't know
You
what
need a
this
butcher's
is.
knife.
a little bit of that.
So I'm just gonna put
Yeah,
a little bit of
that's
white
a little
on
bit
here.
of black. Maybe a little bit of white. Is that what?
Too bad the little bit is
That's
literally
none.
a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're so low on white.
You're more muscly up. Maybe you try.
I don't think there's
Scrunch
any
up
left.
the toothpaste.
Got more muscles.
I'm pretty sure there's just none left.
I hope it doesn't work because then it looks like I'm really weak. Oh, he got it.
How much?
Yeah, just yep. Little dab.
It's all in the muscles.
Just dab it in.
Birthmark.
That's purple. I need a clean one. I'm just going to use this.
Definitely looks like a birthmark.
Wait, what?
Nick's.
Where?
The light shine.
Because it's not white, it's blended. Maybe it's just the...
He's going to makeup brush it.
Just dab it. There we go. I love it. And then
I don't want to brag,
Yeah.
but I think I've nailed it.
oh, with time to spare.
Are you done?
No, I'll probably do more. But I am proud of this. I feel like I've done Carl justice.
You've done better. That's for sure. Like, if I was going to grade your learning and
Yep.
not your painting, this is an A.
Thank you.
How about me?
Grade the painting.
No, grade the painting. I would say, are we still using letter grades?
Yeah, but you're going A to D.
So this is the same
Yeah.
color, right?
But it has
guess
to
so,
be like.
you
But
gonna do the
the D is like
shirt.
All right.
abysmal.
I'll extend his
Okay,
cheeks.
so D is that.
Yeah.
Straight
Let's
in.
just start the bar.
Yeah.
I would say the best painting we've done so far is like a B, which is mine.
Yours is not the best. I actually think the best one that we've done is
Ellen DeGeneres. Next
No
question.
way.
No, I reckon it's the Nico.
You
I
think
reckon-
Nico is better than Atlas?
Yeah, because,
I disagree.
Because
Twitch
there's a
chat
lot more
disagrees.
going on in
I like
Nico.
the Gregus the most personally.
That we didn't
We
paint
didn't
that.
do that.
Oh,
We
but there's
painted the
a cheat.
original, and then Lady Dubsy painted
well,
that
it has
because
to
I
be Nico
stupidly gave it away and MEO to some idiot who's probably not even watching anymore.
I would say yours is a solid
How do I do that colour?
C.
I think what you've got right
To
now
C
is like
plus.
this.
I'll take it. That's a pass.
Yeah, no, you've definitely passed.
C's
If I
get
go to an
degrees
art
next.
school and I see, I can acknowledge that's Carl.
Yeah.
I cannot acknowledge that as PogChamp there.
No. Give it time.
Can't rush perfection.
Give it time.
Well,
They haven't
like,
got the right majestic ratios of the paint yet.
You're really saying that doesn't look good.
That's a PogChamp.
no, I
That's
didn't say it
insane.
doesn't look good. I
That's
said it looks
insane.
bad. Don't misquote me,
That's
Brandon.
insane.
So what is the what are the final steps? Are you done with the face and it's now just shadowing?
No, he's brought the contour up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing the shirt because there's like a dark blue shirt. And then I reckon we're close to finito.
Painting over not dry paint is a mistake, by the way.
Yeah, big time.
This is causing me grief.
Big time.
You know, the one thing I'm kind of proud of is I actually think I'm getting my color mixing, I'm doing it really well.
Yeah.
The colors I'm nailing.
Yeah, see, I look at your picture and I look at the picture below your picture, and I think that your color mixing is horrendous.
Again, all he's doing is backseat gaming.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, that's not the. All he's done is backseat game, except for when he came and ruined the nose. That's the only
I
thing he's
didn't
done.
touch the nose.
That's not what I heard on the OPL broadcast.
He became a sweet potato. That's like his.
He did.
You guys need some of that white that we don't have to just put a line down PogChamp Man's head, because he's like, there is obviously a light in front of
Well, he's
PogChamp
actually
Man.
sunburnt.
Yeah.
Oh, he is
Like
too, isn't he?
aggressively sunburnt.
My
on the
favorite
forehead.
part of the painting is this part here, which was the original jawline.
And
very
his
good.
bruise where someone's socked him one / where we had the original contours.
Speaking of very good, we are on to our final game of the evening. It is Pentanet.gg versus the Direwolves. Jake, who's going to win this one?
This is an interesting one, right? Because if you look at these teams ramping up, Direwolves are ramping up, in my opinion, a little bit quicker. Pentanet have seemed to have got a little bit of their shit together, but certainly I don't think enough to rival Direwolves today. Now, in saying that, if the Pentanet that was showing so much promise, like coming into the OPL season, turns up, this could be anyone's game.
Well, let's take a look at the lineup of the Pentanet.gg team who were showing so much promise. Skinny.
Yeah, it's going to be Biopanth in the top side, Sully as your jungler, Get Back in the mid lane, and the bottom lane of Praedif and Rogue. And, you know, they've definitely had individual moments of excellence. You definitely look at that bottom lane to try and really ramp up and showcase what they can do with obviously Coach Western Way, really bringing through some wild and wacky drafts. I just think, yeah, when you put them up next to each other, Direwolves just have that little bit of an edge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that when we have a look at how Pentanet has been playing, it is a lot of flexibility through that draft. But they do rely on Praedif to carry a lot of these games, and I think that he's going to be under a severe pressure today from Vital.
Well, the favourites for the room are the Direwolves. Let's take a look at the Direwolves lineup. Rusty.
Oh, me! Chippy's in the top lane, mid jungle. Shock is your mid laner, and Vital and Decoy are going to be down in bot lane with Coach Kai. And there was a 2-0 for them last week. They're definitely on the hunt for another 2-0 this week. Definitely Direwolves are on the hunt and on the rise.
Yeah, I mean, I think Direwolves right now, there's been a lot of banter online between both of these teams. You know, Pentanet.gg showcasing, hey, who actually got that victory last time? It was us. Don't get too big for your boots right now. Ubisoft, you know, doing
Ubisoft things.
cheeky things. I don't even know how you want to describe it. He's just flaming him on Twitter right now. And then, you know, old mate from Pentanet coming back with some, like, you know, crazy old songs. So there's a lot of rivalry online. I think I saw a lot of the boys from Direwolves showcasing, hey, we're like 1 to 4 on like the solo queue ladder. Like, we are the best players. But it always keeps revolving back to Pentanet saying, but we won it last time. So big rivalry, big game.
I would say that these are two of the last teams in the entirety of the OPL that genuinely do not like each other.
Yeah.
I would say there is absolutely no love lost in this game.
And that's exciting to see. What we're basically about to see here is a school reunion or maybe a Christmas lunch between your extended family. You don't want to be here, you don't want to see the other people, but you're forced to contractually. So let's take a look at Pentanet.gg versus Direwolves after the break.
It's the final game of the day, and we could not be ending it on a better note. Direwolves taking on Pentanet.gg, both with a lot of rivalry between them. Direwolf looking to emulate once again a back-to-back 2-0 performance, their first one of this split so far. Pentanet.gg with the inverse of their results, sitting at 3 and 5, wanting to showcase that they are a team, maybe a bit of a slow start, but definitely able to repeat the performance and take down the Wolves twice apiece.
And we'll see if we're able to do that, because we've had one surprise. I would say Mammoth beating Gravitas, that's a surprise, but otherwise stock standard results today, Skimmy. And I'm sick of people on top of the ladder, just people beating people below the ladder. We need some upsets.
We do.
We need some surprise back in the OPL. And already, we're going to have a very aggressive draft.
Well, it's explosive. It started off very quickly here with the priority towards the set from Direwolves, making sure that Shippies has a champion he feels comfortable on. We know what Shippies does on this roster, a star player in that regard. But Pentanet, they've opened up with the Pantheon and the Talia.
Yeah, and this is interesting, right? Because you have to be thinking right now, if you're the Direwolves, trap, trap, trap. Because they've given you Set, like one of the best top laners. They've given you Aphelios, one of the best AD carries. Pantheon Talia, we haven't seen it all that much. It looks like a mid-jungle duo or a top jungle duo potentially in response to the Set. Do they have enough damage to kill Set? Maybe before he gets his W off. If he doesn't, I think they lose. So I would be interested to see like how this is actually going. I stalk Miru's solo queue account. He actually plays a ton of Silas on it. He's a really, really good jungler. I like watching good junglers. So I assume that is going to just be like, you know, blind Silas jungle. I mean, most likely it's into Talia, but who knows with Talia? Maybe that's Talia mid, Pantheon top. Like, these are very flexible comps coming across from Pentanet so far.
I'm not going to reveal too much with these initial picks so far. No AD carry bans. So Aphelios goes through the draft completely uncontested.
What about MF?
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's just no AD carry draft bans. It's pick of the mill. You choose what you want. We're banning tanks, we're banning junglers, we're banning mid laners. And Pentanet say, we have an idea and we're going to keep going with that. We're looking in Kaiser.
Yeah, and I mean, so far this is just a go forward comp, right?
Yeah.
Depending on what, who's playing what, this could be very heavy engaged. You got Talia Wall, Pantheon Ultimate, and Kaiser just zooms in at the speed of sound. So I think this could be very interesting from the Pentanet lineup. I'm picking up what they're putting down. I'm liking it.
Well, it's a bit of a different idea than what they had last time. Pentanet.gg were the ones to rock the Veigar. They were the ones that commanded that mid lane and said, you will just never be able to take this turret down. The response was, Shock was granted the Akali, and they had very limited windows in which they could try and find those fights, and they were really trying to push Pentanet to the jungle or splitting them all out. And when that happened, they were convincing, but ultimately Pentanet were the ones getting those objectives and closing out the game.
Yeah, it's really interesting, right? Because we're talking about how Pajigis were looking to group and kind of stop and staunch, whereas last game it was Direwolves looking to split. Now they have Set, they have Aphelios. You would be saying Direwolves, they're probably looking for the group and force.
Yeah.
And you'd say Pajigis, with their semi-global ultimates and their aggressive comp, probably looking to attack the side lanes a little bit more.
Yep, 3 champions already for Pentanet that can definitely jump from one lane to another with relative ease. We've seen 3 support bans so far. Double hook champions, 1 protector, and another initiator. So we're starting to work the territory where Time Kench comes online. The likes of Soraka, Yumi, and other enchanters are available.
Okay.
And it's 10-4, so this won't be a top lane Soraka. This is definitely towards the bottom side.
Yeah, it could still be top lane Soraka.
You think it's still good enough?
I don't think it's good enough still, but I could see it. Like, into Set, who is brutally melee.
Okay.
You could probably go down 100 CS in this lane.
Okay.
Like, you could probably get 60 to 160 CS. Is that enough to justify her as a pick? I probably don't think so. I mean, we've been playing into Soraka personally for a couple of weeks now, and we think that the scaling is really, really good. There's no one really to buy all that much healing cut on the side of Direwolf, so maybe that's why they thought that they could get away with something like a Soraka. But I think Soraka's support sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's really, really bad. Maybe with all the engaged supports off the table, you can get away with it, but I would say if this is like a Blitzcrank or something, it just dies on repeat. Like, you literally can't live in lanes.
Gonna be pretty brutal.
Okay, so Thomas, you can live in that lane. You can play Soraka support now.
It's the lane that you were considering, and that is a pike posture. Would have been quite random, quite rowdy if they'd locked it in. We're gonna rock and roll with the Lucian, and if this sticks as it is, we've got an incredibly interesting bottom lane here, Spawn.
I'm just not going to humour them yet, Skimmy. I'm going to let them throw all the champions around the rift and see where they end up. But so far, I mean, this is what the draft kind of indicated, right? Set immediately locked in, Pantheon Talia, like, taken straight away. So this is where, no? Okay, so they've swapped it again. So I'm just going to talk my way through it,
Keep
right?
talking.
That's what I thought we were going to see, like Pantheon into set, whether it's mid or... Okay, so it's not. It's Pantheon support.
This was once upon a time not too bad.
No, this is good. So what Pantheon support does, facilitates turret dives. How does it do that? Well, it has the E that creates invulnerability, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have Lucian mid that gets priority, which it does, Lucian gets priority into everything. You have Talia, which is a quick jungler, which it is. And then you have Kai'Sa, Pantheon. You should be able to dive this bottom lane turret. I was surprised because when you see like set taken and then immediately you see two champions like immediately locked in, generally you would say that's a trap. As we try and figure out the high-tech microphones here. But generally if you go like on and I immediately go like, I don't know, Soraka something, you're like, okay, cool, that's a direct response to on. And they were really quick lock-ins, but now we see that it actually was just a game plan from Pentanet that they wanted those two picks for maybe a completely different reason, like diving bottom lane.
Western Way, I think you've broken Spawn here. Draft us through or guide us through this draft that you brought to the table. I was a little bit critical saying, I can't see a world in which Soraka goes back to the top lane, but here it is.
Yeah, I mean, Soraka's just a pick right now, which is quite good into a few matchups. Like, she's not like she was in the last patch, but she can still be played into like set and a few other matchups.
And now talk me through the Pantheon support. Rogue's going to be picking that one up. What are you expecting here?
Yeah, so I mean, it was just a composition which we've been practicing a lot, just for kind of one of our games, which is upcoming. It's just to pretty much just focus their bot lane. Yeah, just dive it as much as we can.
Okay, and you guys were able to get some of the stronger champions on the current pack. Lucian never really gets through. Soraka, if you're a Soraka team, as hold the phone. No, looks okay. Kind of never gets through. Do you think that that was them specifically looking to ban out different things that you guys have played, or do you think that this was maybe a misread from their coaching staff?
No, I mean, I think that like quite a lot of the champions which we'd been playing previously in the OPL, like the one on the Gragas, were banned. So I don't think it's like a misread from them. I think Direwolves is a very unique team in the fact that they kind of have their style and they don't really play a lot of the priority picks. If the picks are good, is they'll just kind of play their style and they'll play it whenever. So a lot of the time there's like champions which are missing from their champion pools, which are high in priority, which I guess can make things interesting from their draft point of view, but I don't think their bans were like missing anything really.
Okay, and now talk to me about how you approach a game like this, because we've mentioned already there seems to be some online banter. Sully said a couple of things on his stream. Toby's, been going crazy on social media all day. Do you buy into the hype that this is a bigger than usual game, or is it just another day at the office?
I mean, I think that this kind of game, as well as like our games against Order, can be really important because we're all quite close to each other in the standings. And obviously with the new OPL playoff format, the third place match is going to be exceptionally important. So obviously for a team like us and Direwolves, this is obviously going to be a bigger match because, there's a lot on the line for both teams.
But personality-wise, nothing there between the players?
Any fighting words to try and add to the mix that's already been online?
I mean, like, I don't know. I just leave Pete and the others to that. I'm just, yeah.
Humble as ever. Well, good luck. We'll crack on with this one, the repeat of the match. I don't want to call it the second OPL Classico because it's definitely not of that gravitude just yet, but there is that definite rivalry between these two to sort of really flex who is the more dominant team.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that coming into the split, people would say, if you're a historic OPL fan, you would say Direwolves should have the advantage here, right? And if you're a fan of the new upcoming players, you would say, well, PGG, they've got like some of those emerging talents that we've talked about. So I think it can certainly go each way. Thank you, Western Way, for still considering us in that race after a pretty shocking start to the split. We've lost against both PGG and Direwolves. However, taking stock of how this map has gone, we have a split map skimming, which really suits Pentanet, because we said if their game plan is to dive bottom lane, this is exactly how you do it.
Well, you talk about priority for Lucian. He's definitely on the hunt right now. Sully's coming down to bottom lane, and he does this a lot. Loves going for those early dives, those early turret platings. He's going to get caught out by that Vision Ward and try, and will smite away one of the golems.
Well, this was really interesting, right? Because they couldn't crash the wave quick enough. And you would have to say without the Q available for the Pantheon, it's going to be very difficult to be able to get that lane shove. However, now they look like they want to go for it.
He does have the amplification available if he wants to go for that empowered shield. He's forced to flash away after turret tanking. Chippy's burning through that teleport, instantly pings to the top side to say, Soraka, you get the free farm now. Biopanther quite happy with that one as Penanet.gg find themselves first blood.
And that is a nightmare for the Direwolves. If you're Chippies, the reason you like Set into this matchup is you get to scale for free. You want to be running back to that lane. You want to be building that CS lead. You do not want to be giving Biopanther a free reset and then having to walk back to a wave that's now reset and pushing back into you. This means there is no cross-map trade available for the Direwolves. If PGG get priority over this mid lane wave another time, this could really be a difficult early game for them.
Now we've talked about how much of an impact Praetor can be on this roster. If we date our minds back to when these two teams last met, Vital has been that 17-year-old prodigy, if you will, on this roster. He was about 100 CS over Praetor in that last game. He was definitely a force to be reckoned with when he played that Misfortune. Unable to close that game out, so expecting a very big performance by those two members in that bottom side.
Yeah, and I like this from Decoy, trying to catch out and get back here.
Not going to find that stun. He's going to bite off a fair bit of damage as Get Back gets forced back to the tower.
And I mean, now that turns into a bad gank, right? Because you just use so much of that push that we've been talking about. They get this one window off bottom lane, and your support uses it to go half health. So now Decoy's in a situation where he can possibly be dove again. And you can see that Sully is just continually helping his mid laner shove out this wave and looking for dives. However, Direwolves look like they might want to fight them here.
They're blind right now, but Mir has their number. He jumps in, he finds the dash. Dahlia with the knock-up. He's going to flash it in to try and connect with this one, and Shock does not miss those paddle stars.
And I really like that from Direwolves. They know that they can't fight for the bottom lane turret dive without teleport available. So what do? They meet them at the start of the play. They go for the response over the mid lane wave. They bring Decoy up. Vital, meanwhile, has just been farming fine down here. And they're saying, you know what, if you want to dive us, that's fine. You just cannot Get Back to any of these plays. It has to be 3v2. It cannot be 4v2. We take another look at this, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. You see bottom lane wave is building. This is exactly when Get Back as well as Sully would like to be heading down there. And they just commit for the kill. They say, you know what, that's not going to happen on this wave. That's really well navigated.
Summoner's Burnt, flash from both the jungle and from the mid laner. Shock having to use that exhaust to ensure that he cannot run away with all that mobility that Lucian has at his disposal. Penanet with that pressure on the bottom lane will be able to freely rotate now through to this Drake. And it looks like there's no contest available as Miru nowhere near this one.
Yeah, and I mean, this is what you'd expect, right? With all that push priority in the bottom lane, you expect to be able to get as many dragons as you want in the early game, and that's kind of the calling card that they're holding on to. I do think that they scale slightly worse, but that's just because I'm not a huge fan of Soraka scaling. I think so much of that champion scaling can be negated by Grievous Wounds. However, if that's not picked up, obviously, Pentanet's PGG scaling is absolutely fine.
Who are your ideal targets on Direwolves to get healing cut here?
I mean, it has to be Vital, right? He's the only person that's going to be able to AoE spread it.
Yep.
If there isn't all that much magic resistance picked up, Mir and Shock can also grab some through kind of the tone, but I don't really expect them to allow that to happen. There is just so much magic damage on the Direwolves right now that I would expect a lot of MR. Like, I'm expecting Banshee's Veil second coming across from Sully, and I'm probably expecting double Hex Drinker as maybe 4-man dive back on right now.
Hold that fort. Yep, they're coming back again. They showcased it earlier, and they're going to do it again. Lucian has level 6 right now, so the culling is there. One turret plating has fallen down so far, and Rogue has the empowerment available if they do see fit. That try is completely blind so far.
And this is really well played from Direwolves. You can see Mir is there early one more time. So the dive, once again, has to be called off. They're not getting enough control over the mid lane wave after Get Back was forced to use both summoner spells to really be able to execute on these plays. And that means top lane is being isolated despite having to use TP. Chippies is still going to be 20-odd farm up and has a teleport coming up available in a couple of minutes. And I would say Direwolves done a really good job of stabilizing this game. Only 300 gold.
And then you talk about it with pondering who would go for the healing card. It's actually going to be Chippy's first item back.
That's a crappy first item. You can never really get in range of Soraka. And if you flash ulti her, she just E's where she lands and then walks away from you. Like, there's really not all that much you can do to catch up and chase at that point. It's going to be an early flip as well. Very interesting. This game has been quite different, Skimmy, because this isn't the smack bang on 8-minute flip. They haven't got Sully on map first, so they're not going to get to Herald like all that much quicker. This just seems to be maybe they got thwarted on a couple of dives, so they're trying to shake up the pace of the game, get away from some of that vision that had been placed in that bottom side.
Mira's only going to be resetting himself now, with Sully's going to be the first one to rock up here. Penanot.gg going to show face in the top side, alerting Chippies as to how the rest of those Direwolvians want to respond. Is that a term, Direwolvians?
Oh, yeah, I assume so.
You can just make it up.
Yep. The Wolf Pack, as they like to be called.
Yeah.
And you can see that now we have Soraka playing heavy weak side. And I would say this does suit PGG a little bit more than Direwolves, right? Soraka doesn't really care if she farms. She goes down all the time. It's going to be a cleanse use.
Coming for Paddlestar, and Get Back is definitely on point with that aim so far. Miru's going to respond and show that he can use the cannon just as well. Soraka forced to burn that wish and ensure that no mid lane trades does come out here.
But nicely played, because you can see that whilst this is all going on, PGG is just freely whacking top lane turret. And Chippies can't go back there. He's under threat of being dove. Soraka, on the other hand, probably isn't going to be. If they go for this, they're going to give up Herald, which is top lane turret definitely going down. I completely disagree with this. I think they should be using Decoy's push right now to walk upriver and try and get to that play on time. Because if you take Herald, you're going to get at least 3 or 4 plates top lane. If not, you can decide to break the turret with the Herald right now. But even more importantly for PGG, you can flip and get off the map before this dragon spawns and continue your dragon tracking. And we're guaranteed either an Infernal or Air Drake. And I would say both of them are very good for the Pentanet.gg lineup right now.
Scuttle for bottom side pressure. As Direwolves look to try and establish a little bit of vision control to play around and maybe find a catch. But as you highlight, Pentanet.gg going to utilize that Rift Herald quite perfectly here as the turret is rather low. It's going to finish that one off, and they may look to try and find extra. He's just trying to be a minions slammer. I don't know what he's up to.
And so now we have full creep, full top lane taken for 4 plates bottom side, more concentrated gold going across onto Aphelios in that trade. However, you can see completed Storm Raids are going to be there. And it is actually 900 gold the difference right now.
Yep.
For traders, because he got solo first gold bonus. And Decoy must have taken some plate gold there, which you probably shouldn't do in a 2v1, right? You should be sitting there for safety and then giving solo gold over to Vital. So Pradith actually in a really great spot right now, Skimmy. Got himself that first blood, got himself that first turret, and about 1,000 gold up, and this should be a free dragon after we check out what's going on with the pause.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on here, but we'll find out very shortly. It seems to be potentially towards Miro, but yeah, plan is definitely being executed so far here for PGG. Quite happy with how the flow of this game has gone. They're working towards turret plates, but they're working towards objectives. So it's really up to the Direwolves at this stage to showcase, well, when that team fight does eventually take place, do they have the mechanics to outplay what Pentanet have in their arsenal so far?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that when you have a look at kind of how this game has ebbed and flowed, I have to say that PGG got a really good early game advantage, right? With that 3-man dive bottom lane. But Direwolves' response was quite good. It wasn't until they broke up the map and started moving around that PGG has been able to kind of leap forward in that gold. Gold is going to be skewed this game, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say that PGG is up a lot, even when they're only up 700. Because as you can see, you know, it's going to be the 80 carry, up 1,100 gold. You know, jungle's getting a slight lead. I expect Soraka to fall down, probably 2,000 or 3,000 gold, and for it to be okay, to be perfectly honest. It just is not as impactful as other roles in League of Legends right now if Soraka falls down.
Vital's still hungry for that first item to come online, and that's in part to the discussion you just raised there. Storm Razor is complete for Praetor. Pentanet going to continue to find themselves objective momentum. Going to spawn a Cloud Rift on this one.
I'm really surprised that they're just allowing Chippies to sit top and take this turret. Because an area they don't want to get out of control is top lane. Both of the 80 carries are quite low range in this game for the Pentanet lineup. And Chippies is going to be able to deal with them quite well. You know, if he gets himself Black Cleaver or Trinity Force plus a Hysterics Gauge, he's going to be a nightmare. So I would expect, like, this has to be a big play coming across for PGG to make this worthwhile.
Top tower is going to fall in favor of Direwolves, but the response is good here for PGG, who are going to get the turret as well.
Chippy's just got an absolute truckload of solo gold, my friend.
The one member we highlighted about not wanting to really run away with the game, and he's going to find a fair bit of success as a result of that.
Interesting swap into the mid lane here. They do have the Tahm Kench ult to be able to return very quickly back bottom lane, but, you know, beneficiary we keep saying is Chippy's on the top side of the map. You have to say Praetor has kind of unrivaled carry potential with the Kai'Sa in this composition, and she's now about to take her second turret of complete plates. That's disgusting, Chippy. Like, Praetor should be so far ahead right now.
It's definitely swung the gold balance a little bit, giving Direwolves a bit of breathing room to play with. This game is definitely not over by any stretch of the imagination. 15 minutes is where we're heading towards.
Okay, so they don't push for that turret. They had Sully on the correct side of the map. They still have Wish available. They would have been able to push this down with a hard force. You know, I'm talking probably Sully's ult down in the bottom lane, threaten dive, you know, use Soraka Wish, try and blow shock up. Instead, with 20 seconds remaining, I don't think they're going to be able to get this turret. Maybe they will.
Hang on a minute, Sully is hanging around.
Oh, dive coming in, definitely.
There they are. Grand Skyfall followed up by the rock jump. Everyone dives in, and that's exactly what you highlighted during the draft. Chippy's now in a 1v3 situation, and you can see him working towards that Trinity Force. He's going to be quite scary once that's online.
Yeah, absolutely. However, that's a great play coming across from PGG. They didn't, however, manage to take themselves that turret, so still down a little bit of gold. But if we could take a look at where the individual gold is, that's what I'm most interested in, right? So you see right now, 1,500 gold for the AD carry of PGG. And once again, Soraka's going to fall down, guys. We get it. She's just a support champion that is playing top lane, doesn't really need it. Chippy's still going to be about 1,000 gold down behind his main counterpart that he has to carry against in Praetor. So this is going to be two very conflicting styles going head to head.
It's the member you want to see fed right now. Rogue was definitely highlighting what Praetor is capable of doing. Believes he's definitely the next standout player in this league. Hasn't always found success in these games up until this point to really showcase that.
And this is a big
making
test
a name
for
for
me.
himself now.
Skimmy, if they're able to go into this bottom side jungle and kill Chippies, who's the most fed member,
absolutely.
right? Then you would have to say this game is like at disaster point already. You know, the scaling of Soraka is going to be there. You know, Praetor is about to pick himself up, you know, another 400 gold or whatever the case may be here. 300 gold as it pops up over his head.
Don't do it, Chippies.
So if Chippies dies here, that means this game is, I would say, nearly beyond recoverable.
They don't have the ultimates, but they have a whole squad, an army, waiting, ready, and posturing for this kill. When the flash comes out, the Haymaker response, the shield is there, but the damage is that much higher. Direwolves respond in mid lane. They have to find something here, otherwise their base is left wide open.
Yeah, and I mean, they just don't race as quick, right? You're against double 80 carry. Like, there's just no way you push mid lane as quickly as they push bottom lane. And bottom lane is on the opposite side to Baron. So this is such an impactful turret to take down. Now, what I would like to see them actually do is potentially not take the inhibitor. We talk about it a lot, but inhibitor at this stage of the game is hold the phone. So inhibitor at this stage of the game actually gives like a lot of creeps going into the base, and it lessens a wave that you can farm. So I think not taking that inhibitor there, making sure that you are keeping that farm fairly even is the right call. I would also like to see PGG not worry about this Rift Herald. Like, you know, don't even try and deploy back to the top side of the map. That third Drake is what should be on their mind. Get yourself on Soul Point. Direwolf, their responses have been good. They just took 2 turrets in response for 2 turrets bottom lane, mid lane turrets. If this game stays even, that's going to be more impactful as the game goes on. They've got themselves a Herald if Mir wants to go back and pick that one up. That means that they should be able to maybe even break the base mid lane quite soon.
Kai's was hanging in base for a fair bit of time, maybe just needing a little bit more gold, and now the Ginsu is online.
Item up.
A full item up against his counterpart in Vital.
How do you even fight against that, right? How do you fight against
Very
a
scary.
2-item 80 carry? They started, and they must complete this so quickly.
Teleport's going to come out here from Biopanther as the Cloud Drake has spawned. Direwolves to start things off.
And I mean, the answer is they can't start it, right? And the more this chip exchange happens without someone actually dying, the more Soraka is just in complete control of kind of the status of this game. And they're just going to check the objective,
They're going to fight over this mid lane. If one person missteps here from Direwolves, Praetor's going to eat them alive.
Decoy going to be paramount here in ensuring that one of these key
Praetor
targets
gets hit.
stays alive.
Oh no, that's not Praetor. Silly Star Guardian Soraka. And very interesting that they back off here. I would say right now, if you've got a full item on your AD carry, you should be looking to fight. So this is crazy to me that this is actually a back away from Pentanet.gg.
Maybe respecting the fact that Chippies has now completed that Trinity Force and just the points you highlighted before about how low range these AD carries are. Maybe quite scary about how much he can do in that situation.
But now you have a situation, right, where you've lost control of bottom side of Summoner's Rift, you give over your whole dragon, another turret is going to fall down, so you only have one outer turret left remaining. It's 5 turrets to 4 right now as we speak. And I think that was one of their best windows to fight. You can see that Vital was sitting on 1,300 gold, 1,400 gold, and you have to assume the rest of the team was as well. And this comp does scale really nicely. We already mentioned the set as well as Aphelios. He is severely behind, still 2,000 gold, but if you're not willing to fight now when you're 2,000 gold behind, you know, 1 to 2 items is way more of a big deal than 5 to 6 items as the game goes on.
Gold is dead even, but the kills are in favor of Pentanet. Could have been more, but they show a bit of restraint. Decide not to bite the bullet just there.
See, I'm unsure whether to call it restraint or indecision. Because I think that, you know, Vital is, Praetor is probably screaming, I am so much stronger than Vital right now. We need to fight.
Well, I wonder if it's a confidence thing, right? As to like, we don't want to throw away this lead. We're in such a good spot. Trust me. Or if it's just misinterpreting their power level.
Yeah, always a potential there. It also could just be, you know, what we've got a really great grasp on how to play this game out. We've got map control. We've got an open inhibitor bot.
Sure.
Let's not force an unnecessary fight, right? We've got semi-global ultimates to be able to catch them out. If they're ever out of position, right now they're in position, so let's just not risk it.
Potential argument to say they want to play the macro map as opposed to going for the team fights where you flip a coin, but as you say, 2 items on your star player. This game is all to play for at 20 minutes in. Beautiful shield from Rogue.
And once again, if it's not lethal damage, the damage doesn't matter because there's still no healing cut apart from the set picked up in this game. And once again, they've given up control of mid lane wave. I don't like it this time, Skimmy. They have themselves a Herald. If they just drop it, this is definitely a mid lane turret going down.
They've been out-rotated, outsmarted, and potentially outplayed as now the Direwolves work towards opening up that mid inhibitor and saying, you took our bottom side, we'll take your mids. This Rift Herald will do a fair bit of damage, and if they can find a kill off the back of this as well, they may be going for the inhibitor too. They may be looking to try and end this one out as the Grand Skyfall comes down and Set slam dunks as Rogue. Down to 10 health. Oh, he gets the shield and he survives with a Soraka. How has he been amongst 5 members and lived?
That's insane that he's able to live through that. You just see the full strength coming across of the Pantheon. Once again, goes down so low and is now back up to full. They keep eating these Qs. And Biopanther's like, guys, I only have so much health and resources.
Rogue is dirty, but Biopanther is clutch. Truly justifying the Soraka pick in that one key moment.
See now whether any counter push is going to be available. You can see slowly getting that health back and available. Siege on mid lane could be on here. Chippies is bot, does have teleport, however. Nope, we're just going to have a reset map again. Skimmy.
Very even game so far here, Spawn. Gold, open inhibitors. The fact that Rogue doesn't die here blows my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. He gets an immediate stopwatch. He's on sub 100 health, right? The wish comes out as he gets the empowered E available. Really nicely played from Vital here. You can see that if this was any other comp that didn't have a Soraka, he is just shredding through people's health bar at this stage of the game. This is why Aphelios is such a high priority pick. And I nearly think that Pentanet.gg missed their window when they didn't go for that 3rd dragon fight. You know, I speak about this all the time, but when you're ahead, continuing that momentum feeling of we're winning, we're winning, we're winning, we're taking more objectives, like we're being able to be more proactive on some of the script, right? But as soon as you drop that once, the game almost kind of feels harder, even when it goes back to even, because you have to completely change your mentality. And it can feel like you're playing from behind.
Limiting the windows for the team to find opportunity. Nice little shield there as the goes to sleep. Looking to start this fight right now. Direwolves wanting to try and be the initiators in this one. Wish comes out very early on. Onto Rogue. He's drowsy. He's dying. He's gone. Shock finding that one. Zoe online. Pen and Net forced to lick their wounds and disengage here. Not find any more casualties. Drake is spawning in 10 seconds. They do have the smite available with Sully.
And it is only going to be the support falling down, but the bigger issue is they've completely lost control of this mid lane wave. You can see once again another pause coming across. And Direwolves right now have a complete flank on where PGG want to be. PGG probably want to be at that dragon that's spawning in a couple of seconds, and Direwolves chasing them off mid lane.
Feels like the longer this game is going out. I don't want to call it too early about this game falling out of PGG's grasp, but they're presenting Direwolves with a lot of opportunities to exert their own ideas on this map and their own ability to try and even and match out and almost leave the game to chance in a sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is one of those situations where you feel like, sorry, we were just getting talked to at the exact same time. This feels like one of those situations where you, once again, had such a clear avenue to play from, and you were playing directly into the strength of the other team, and it was working so well. So then why did you stop doing that? Like, why did you discontinue that momentum, right? As we're just checking out a peripheral issue. I assume it's with Mir's mouse because he keeps pointing at it.
Yep.
And that's the only thing I can really see going on. But it's just one of those games where now that you're playing an ARAM style, now that you're not trying to dive a side lane, you seem to kind of be lost as to what your global ultimates are to be used for,
Sure.
right? They're not using them to cut them into choke points or to dive, necessarily in for these big team fights. So it's like, okay, if the only thing the global ultimates of Talia, of Pantheon were used for being able to split up and dive the map, is there just not enough structures mid lane anymore for us to be able to do that? Because if we do it one more time and they take a win, we're going to lose the whole game off it.
Direwolves will control this map. They'll pick up their second Drake of the game to even things out here. See Get Back rotating towards the top side. Gonna drive by past the Baron. But the map is lit up blue right now.
Okay, they're going for Mirror. Use both the global ultimates there. Not able to catch him out. Does give them fairly good position over this mid lane turret, however, Skimmy. See if they go for a dive here.
Deep teleport in the back end from Chippies. He's going through for a flank.
Oh, that bubble.
This could be disastrous right now because Get Back's not there. He has no teleport. He can't engage. Soraka now joining the fight. It's going to be a 4v5. Mirror is going to find that one by mirroring that ultimate. He's going to go for the fight. He's going to go for the trade. He's going to look to execute. He's getting outpoked.
Meanwhile, however, Vital's just winning the fight. Has been able to take down Rogue. And Mirror?
It's a conclave fiesta.
And Chippies, you don't want this. I mean, they've chased too far already. You can see that even though they pick up the kill, Mirror having to burn the flash, and now this turret falling down to Get Back. Such a huge deal. PGG finally go back to trying to chase them around the map, right? Split up these plays. But you feel like these mid lane turrets have been just so damn impactful, Skimmy. The fact that the tier 1 mid lane turret is still available right now has been huge. We take another look at this play. This is Mir using the stolen ultimate to go aggressive, and you can see that Rogue once again caught out, gets ulted on by multiple members, and there's just no way they're going to look to fight that. Not with Praedyth on the sorry, not Praedyth. Not with Get Back on the other side of Summoner's Rift.
Prioritization goes more towards Baron now. It's ever a threat. It's definitely being loomed upon. Very slow game, 25 minutes into this one, only 6 kills, but incredibly even. We've talked about it before. Inhibitors available for both teams right now as the turrets have fallen down. Gold economy, very similar in that regard as well, but still the main talking point has to be the fact that Praedyth is still an item up above Vital.
Yeah, and I mean, having a look at the items, right, that is a big deal, but I would say the bigger deal is kind of the itemization choices that have come across for some of the PGG members. They haven't gone any MR, when really it's only Silas and Zoe that is going to be able to one-shot them in these, like, chase fights. So I would really question kind of, like, where are the more Malmortius for Get Back right now? It's Rogue? Oh, just cops a beating. But no damage is happening because it's a Pantheon.
And from arguably the best combination between the Sniper and the Crescendum.
Yeah, absolutely the best. And that's why. You can see how much filthy damage comes across.
Direwolf's hungry to go for this Baron right now. Chippy's dangerously posturing for a flank behind.
And Mir has stolen the Pantheon ult, so that is a big deal, Skimmy. With the ability now to be able to cut off a choke point and be able to collapse onto them as his full AP Silas. And that's what I was going to mention, you know, all this damage that's coming out from Silas, from Shock, could be really heavily negated. And it could force, you know, penetration items, not Morellonomicon, to be built by Direwolves right now. You want them to be building Void Staffs and that. You don't want them to get extreme value. Hold the thought as ult coming into the top wave.
Yep, double ultimates coming here from the Direwolves.
Oh, bubble.
Trying to catch out Penanep. Got the map sense to disengage from that one. Black Cleaver online for Rogue. Can have some good peeling potential if somebody dives in, particularly Chippies.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I was actually looking on that and I was trying to make my mind up, right? Do I like Black Cleaver because there are 280 carries and it technically amplifies their damage? Or do I think it should be a Stone Plate, hold the phone?
Tends to feel like Stone Plate supports are the go-to. As Get Back bites off a little bit more than he can chew, but Chippies is a monster, going to drag somebody back into this team fight. Praetif going very low. He's exhausted and he's stopwatch, but he gets heals just like Rogue. This bottom lane for PGG just does not die. This could be the fight. This could be the moment. Chippies falls on down. It's going to be a bloodbath, however, because Direwolves find the kills they need. They want more. They'll find more. They do not lose this match twice. They want to get a 2-0. They want to break open this space, and they'll find that inhibitor.
Yeah, they certainly will, and that's going to be a winning team fight. It is only one member dead. They have that creep alive. Can they look to end the game right now?
Going towards the first Nexus turret. It's Get Back and Soraka.
Oh,
he's got to do a lot. He needs heals. He just doesn't have enough. Burns cleanse. But the sheer raw damage coming out.
I think he might have just cost them the game. Excuse me, there's still 10 seconds left on Praetif. They're going to take this turret for sure.
Roger's up, he jumps in, he's buying time. Decoy falls on down. Sully is there, but he's drowsy. He can't chase on through. Redemption to top of the boys. Redemption to survive. Shock and Miru so damn low that they're going to sacrifice Vital. They've held on by the skin of their teeth, and they will have the respawn rotation available, but boy oh boy. Your heart has just gone in and out and all over the show.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, this was a misengaged chance by Rogue, and they have to start peeling back. And we mentioned how instrumental Chippies is going to be in the fight. If he doesn't die instantly, his disruption is so high. And you can see that the repetitive heal coming across does make this team quite difficult to deal with. And this was without healing cut, but Chippies is just a nuisance. They're able to re-engage time upon time. And this is a desperation Baron, I feel.
That's the rotation because they're up and available a little bit earlier right now. They're going to dive on in with the aggression. They're going to find the shutdown onto Shock. No more trouble bubbles for them to contest with. The Baron was a dance. The kills were the priority. They found two. No smite. Now Baron, a much safer option.
Yeah, absolutely. However, Sully doesn't have smite available yet either. And he is sitting towards the back of the pit. Vital still coming in.
Chippies can't do anything. He got silenced to absolute time zone.
Okay, so now it's really just on Vital. Decoy is a Tahm Kenchi. That's all he is. Get back, get your bum towards this Baron right now because your team needs you. The healing is the only thing really keeping them alive right now.
Fire Panther is incredibly low. He can't use these unempowered heals for that much longer. It is going to secure the Baron. This game, you just can't call it.
It's insane. This game is so damn close. You know, they said this is probably the battle for the third best team in the OPL right now.
Yeah.
And the difference in strategy, you can see why teams kind of respect both of these teams for different reasons. You know, Direwolf, they're just raw mechanical power in this game, their ability to team fight. When you look at PGG, this is like an ingenious draft that when they execute upon it well, looks really, really promising.
Absolutely.
Now with Baron buff, it should be much easier, Skimmy.
Baron buff for Penanep. 3 Cloud Drakes for the Dire Wolves. A lot of mobility, a lot of cooldown reduction on those ultimates. But how truly impactful will it be?
Well, the thing is, now with Baron buff, it is much harder to push mid lane wave if you are Direwolf. And not only just because of the empowered creep, but because of the empowered recall that you're able to get. So they should be able to split this map much more successfully. They should be able to play towards the side lanes. And the reason this game has been so impressive from PGG is like it's not been without their mistakes. They have made some pretty significant errors, you would say. But the fact that now they've been able to claw their way back into a gold lead after those errors just shows the resilience of this lineup.
Miranomicon online for Shock. Still no healing cut on Vital. He does have the Runins, but he won't be able to spread that around just yet. Still a 1 completed item advantage for Praetor, sitting at 5-1. Still has a bounty to his name despite falling down.
Oh! Panther says, okay, let's stop walking into him until he has to flash.
Uh-oh. Sully's locked in place.
Teleport
But they have the
coming in.
initiation. They do. They have the teleport coming in from the top side right now. Chippy's got so much mobility. He walks straight into a route, into a silence, into a chance to try and make something happen. He's looking for Rogue, and he'll get that shutdown. The Baron buff is there. But PGG, just run.
Yeah, and I mean, that's such a great fight from the Direwolves because Sully, as soon as he burnt that flash, could not get back in. And they knew, so now they can push potentially for the end. There is only one Nexus turret up and available. Sully does the right thing. He kills the other creep wave. And Direwolves, they look like they want to finish it.
The rivalry, we're playing for third spot here right now. Decoy jumps on in, trying to take down Get Back, who he steals the culling away from that turret.
Oh!
Down to 60%, Praetor so below. He has to fall on down, Vital cannot get it. They're going towards the turret, but Vital is the one to fall on down, and Sully takes him out of the
Get
fight.
Back.
Straight away, Get Back is looking for it. He could be the hero. Going from 0 to hero in this situation when they defended that base last time as Rogue jumps on in. Does he have the flash? He turns his attention towards Chippies, and he is now a non-factor.
And that's such a big team fight. 30-second death timers, 40 on the top laner. Baron buff still available. Teleport coming in. This could be game.
They're looking for the top lane initiation. Soraka is there. They want to push this one in. They don't care about bot lane because there's no minions to back them up. They need these turrets to fall on down. They need to work with these respawn timers to give themselves a bit of breathing room.
Okay, Baron buff ran out, so it's not going to be available. It shouldn't be the final push. See whether they can break the base in a second area, though. It seems like years ago.
Oh my gosh, they're jumping onto Mirror right now. They can't connect the dash with the Soraka. I'm getting goosebumps right now, Spawn.
I mean, this game is insane. This is one of the closest games we've had in the OPL
Absolutely.
all year. 33 minutes in, and there is literally no difference. Cloud Jake coming back up and available in 2 minutes. Baron up and available in 2 minutes. And honestly, with the way these teams are going back and forward, it could be really the smallest mistakes that cost it. We take another look at this one. Get Back is so low, and Praetor has to save the game. He gets flashed on right here, and it looks like he's going to fall down. The Soraka ambulance, however, keeps him nice and healthy, and Get Back just able to continue to dash forward. As soon as Vital is dead, there is no hope in the fight. Rogue does the right thing here. Turns around for the guaranteed kill onto Chippy. Get Back nearly gave him an exit strategy there. However, it was not to be. And, now the base is broken in 2 areas. However, it's kind of strange to say that maybe Pentanet's base is in worse condition.
Yeah.
Despite being broken in 1, there's only 1 Nexus turret available, so super creep spawning is going to be in a lot more. Oh, Rogue, what are you doing there?
Rogue just taking so much damage to the face.
Is he dead?
Wish has to come out.
And that's a nightmare, right? 30 seconds until the dragon is available. This is the soul. And to have to use Wish beforehand, that's a disaster.
And they really wish that they had 3 Cloud Drakes to their name right now because they need that cooldown. It's been so strong at ensuring that a key pick target that Direwolves look to scout out just cannot die. Drake up in 15 seconds now, and Baron up in 45. We're looking at one big team fight. And we're looking at this game coming to a close. 35 minutes into this one. What an absolute fantastic match it's been.
This has been a slugfest. And you can see right now that they're going to go for the Tahm Kench ultimate.
Oh no, Get Back. He's got nowhere to run. He's going to stand on that redemption. He needs one here. He needs the team to jump in. Sully! He just deletes Shock! There's nothing he can do. Decoy forced to back away. And what looked like a gank attempt turns into something so different. The disgusting nature of an Aphelios can even the score a little bit. But I just don't know what I'm watching right now.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been really, really disastrous for Direwolves. It looked like they had everything that collapsed, but Get Back was able to turn it. But then the fact that he chased forward and fell down meant that this isn't even trade. They're going to get the Cloud Soul for the Baron buff. I don't think that you can stop this right now if you are PGG. You're going to be face-checking the Aphelios. We'll see if they go for it.
Coming in. It's too little, too late. 40% reduction on your ultimate. Movement speeds at your disposal.
It's a 5v3. You don't want to fight here.
Direwolves managed to pick up something.
Okay, Baron gives you some combat stats. That's good. Empowered creep waves, that's good. Cloud Soul, really, really good. Cloud Soul also lasts forever.
Yep.
So you would have to say, you talk for a second.
Seems to me, with 10% movement speed always available,
Yep.
and 50% on demand with that ultimate usage, that they have some pretty scary flanking options, especially what Chippy's showcased in this game so far.
Yeah, they certainly do. Having another look at this, Get Back turns around, kills the mid laner. Should have stopped there. Dashing forward was definitely a mistake, and then eating so much of the damage that can come out of Aphelios. And what I was going to say is if you can't end the game on this push, then the Cloud Soul is much better. Like, if you don't end the game on Baron buff right now, like, it gains you nothing. Like, you're on the brink already. And they know there are people in that branch. They have to know. Where else would they
Vital
be?
is pushing. Rogue's gonna face check. He's drowsy. He's gonna get slam dunked. Rogue is buying a lot of time though for this team to survive. The redemption, the wish, the heal, the silence. It's just not enough. It is just not enough. It's a 1-for-1. Both supports fall on down. Get Back going all fast and furious on us as he flanks on through.
Does he see Vital here? Because if he does, he can win, I think. Oh. I mean, this game, Skimmy, is really crazy. Ultimates are plenty burnt there in that skirmish. However, Miru still has his available. You know, a Soraka Wish stolen, something along those lines could be just completely game-changing at this stage. Teleport coming in.
Vital's gonna jump in so damn aggressively for that one. He's just gonna pick up names. He doesn't care if he's silenced.
But they can't end.
Oh
They
my
have
gosh,
to go
Get
back.
So much on so many different fronts.
All right, this is craziness. I don't even know who's winning anymore. The
don't-
gold lead is growing for PGG at the moment.
But does that look that obvious from what we're seeing on the map? I don't think so.
No, and I think that at this stage of the game, like, Aphelios should just be unrivaled. He's got the superior summoner spell and barrier. It's going to keep him much healthier in these fights, right? It's not affected by things like Ignite and Healing Cut. Which is a plenty now on the Direwolves
We're
lineup.
reaching full item spawn. I mean,
Yeah.
Praetor has 20k to his name. He's got everything under the sun.
And this is the one game that I would say GA good item. Because normally on AD carry, GA sucks. Like, you dive in, you die, you respawn, you die again. But hold the thought.
Hang on a minute. They want fights. If they can get Vital right now, this will be absolutely huge, but there's going to be time. Kenshi can save him with that Devour. He turns around and deletes Rogue. There is the G that you highlight. Now they have multiple members around to collapse on this. They don't connect with the skill shots. Mirror on the flank. Here goes Drowsy, and they find the kill. Direwolves are going to disengage completely unscathed. They are all so low, but Penanet GG incredibly upset that no one falls down.
I mean, they're so low. How did none of them die right there? And you can see that Direwolves immediately pinging. They want to go down mid, but the creep wave is already dead. 40 seconds should be enough to push for the should not be enough to push for the end here. So once again, I don't think that's a game-ending team fight.
The last time these two teams met, it finished in 37 minutes. We're up to 40, nearly becoming the longest game in the OPL. That was 41 minutes, and it's been a fantastic game. We've highlighted the ramifications of this result, the banter online between the two, the hate, the rivalry, the league positioning that this could equate to. Direwolves 5-3, back off a 2-0 weekend. Penanet.gg sitting at 3-5, and still slowly warming up. But this game, the occasion could not be bigger. It almost feels like a final.
Yeah, I mean, this is maybe, you know, the prequel to the finals at the end of the year. Chippy's going to be able to save the bottom inhibitor turret. That Elder Dragon will be game deciding.
Absolutely.
The Elder Dragon was put into the game for exactly this reason, Skimmy. When the game just doesn't want to end, the Drake ends it for you.
It gives you a condition to play with. Both are going to spawn so perfectly.
Face check here from Decoy. Needs to be careful.
One face check will spell disaster, and we've said that a few times this game, but I mean it for sure this time around.
He's going in. Oh, look, he's started stepping. Okay, they say not today to this face check. The next face check. Now you just have to get back on mid lane wave because you know that now.
Chippies.
Oh, Chippies!
Oh no, Chippies is on his own. He's going to get called out. Decoy's going to jump in with the ultimate with the rest of the team to follow on up. He's down for a full minute.
And that's Elder, if they want Elder. However, it doesn't look like they want to go for that. Looks like they want the end.
They are posturing with this idea. Mid inhibitor cannot be taken out easily.
Oh,
Because Direwolves are still incredibly strong with Vital. The guy now is working towards upgrading that last Swiss Spirit into just an absolute tank shredder.
yeah, he has himself the Mortal Reminder, which is just massive for the team, right? That's going to be able to spread finally healing cut across everyone. 17 seconds until Elder is available. Do you just trade? I think you have to.
Direwolves are going to start up this Baron. Chippies is online in 5 seconds. The Elder Drake has spawned. The rotation has to come out. They're going to go for the recall. They're just going to face tank this and say, we get Baron, you get Elder. One final team fight, and this game is done.
I mean, this game has been nuts, Jimmy. Like, to just take stock, we have had, what, 15 turrets, 7 Drakes, 3 Barons now. Take it down.
The longest game, the most impactful, exciting, methodical, strategical game. All the adjectives thrown into the loop here. So many moments where you think, that's it, they've gone, they've won.
Yep.
And somehow, some way, they've survived. Every single member, soon to be max level. Only the jungle and the support role still slowly lagging behind.
Okay, now let's take a look at the items. So we've got a QSS as opposed to GA. That was on cooldown, but there's some vital stats missing right now on Praetor. Sure, he can escape some CC, but he just doesn't have the raw AD that's going to be available in Vital's build. Vital's QSS, of course, is the Tarmkench, who's gone one of my favorite builds. He goes Stoneplate into Locket. That's huge shields available for everyone on his team. But really, the only thing we should be talking about is they have Elder on the side of Pentanet. If they can get one fight, it is so hard to ignore the 20% execute range that comes in.
If Direwolves can win this team fight, Chippies will have his teleport available just to go straight down mid lane and jump at that Nexus turret. That is a possibility.
And you can see they don't want to fight. So even with this Elder buff, they're not rushing in. There has been no Pantheon ult. There has been no Talia ult to get it started. They're not sure if they win a 5v5, even with the Elder Dragon.
The only super minions currently online are in favor of Direwolves. The tension. It's very stressful right now.
I mean, imagine playing the game. I'm getting freaked out and I'm just watching it.
They're going to start things off. Rogue's going to open up with that Skyfall. They're going to take 2 inhibitors.
Okay. Baron should be expiring pretty soon. Elder's still a little bit left on it. Get back. Needs to be careful.
Direwolves holding strong, utilizing this Baron for the turtle ability. Get themselves.
Do they really
The
just back
breathing room.
out? What is
This game,
happening,
I
Skimmy?
don't know.
Like,
I'm
what
out of
more?
breath. I'm like losing my breath just at the fact that just so much is happening. Literally everyone is nearing full items right now.
And what more can you ask for, right? You've had everything.
Like even Pantheon is saying, I don't even need controllables anymore. I'm building my final items. It's
Yeah, he's going Deadman Plate.
getting to
Very
a crazy
interesting.
stage.
He does have himself double sleeper with his items. I'm not sure I love Rogue's item build. I think Decoy's item build is a much better support item build. But hey, if he gets to 6 items and he does some damage, maybe he's a Mega Brain. There's only one Well, there's 3 turrets, but there's only 1 base turret left to take right now. Give the gold to Rogue. He's the only one that still needs items.
The dance is beginning now for Pinanet.gg. Waiting for their super minions to come through mid lane. Waiting for those to come through bottom lane as well.
Gone to the hopes of the early night, by the way. 46 minutes later.
They are taking no risks whatsoever. I tell you what, if these guys were insurance brokers, you would be very, very happy.
I mean, you can see why they're hesitant to fight. Vital turns around, smacks him twice. Look at that shield he has, Skinny.
I mean, that's his runes, that is his bloodthirst, the fact that his shield is this big. He's essentially got not only the Cloud Soul, he's got a Mountain Soul as well.
Yeah, and so you don't want to run into Vital anymore. So how do you end the game then? Now you're just technically giving them gold because you've taken 2 inhibitors. That's not what you wanted. You wanted to end the game with the 2 inhibitors, not lose all of your health every time Vital auto-attacks anyone.
32 games in this split so far.
I don't know if they know how to win, Skimmy.
35 including today, and we've never seen an occasion like this.
Like, Direwolves definitely at this stage, I feel like, outright win a DPS race. Even with Soraka in there. Soraka, kind of a non-factor. Chippies is so tanky, especially with that crit off the W. If he doesn't die in 1 rotation, if he gets stone played off, like just off.
He's got the Randa wins, he's got everything to shut down this double AD carry roster, absolutely.
Yeah. And there is a pink ward behind them. I just want to highlight the pink ward in the bottom lane near Grom. Bottom lane near Grom. That's the pink ward that we're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. If that pink ward stays there, Chippies might be able to win the team fight for his team. Because teleport in, hit the blast cone to come over the wall, Elder Dragon fight 1.
And you can see the game, as you highlight, has come to a complete halt in the fact that Chippies was split pushing, trying to play the side lane style. Gets caught out as 5 members collapse on him.
And giving up mid lane control here is actually a huge deal because they've spent so much of their time and resources getting control of this dragon area. However, the fact that it's so late and teams are so hesitant actually might just mean that they don't walk in right. They don't actually check that. And my goodness, Vital sold his boots.
He sold his boots for a GA.
This is a new record of how late Vital has been without boots. Of course, he didn't buy boots for his first 3
That's
items.
it. We meme him about it one time, but this time it's justified. Elder is spawning on your screen now. Baron in the opposite side of the river is available. ARAM continues.
Elders. I've literally never seen 2 Elders in a game. Chippies is in the base. He has to look for a teleport on that ward.
He's looking for a flank. You can see the ping
Here it comes.
from Direwolves coming on out. He's looking for it now. PGG have no idea. They are blind. He's got the movement speed. He runs and shows face, goes and turns around for the Drake.
Elder's gone.
They're going to start things off. It looks like they're going to pick it up. That's Direwolves, the ones in the command. They get the Elder Soul. They find a pick onto Rogue.
Okay, no empowered recall. Because of the nature of Elder over Baron. So instead, they just used the Tahm Kench ultimate to get back to base. Really well played. And Sully had used that wall to get towards bottom lane to try and end the game, as opposed to towards the Baron. So I think right now, Direwolves should get both of the major buffs on Summoner's Rift. And this game should now be a Direwolves win.
Working towards the Baron now. Pinanet are just conceding this one. They have nothing. This is going to come down to a base defense. 50 minutes into this game, 2 Elders, multiple Barons. Unheard of in the OPL.
Yeah, absolutely. 50-minute game. Like, we're talking about teams with average game times half this.
Yep.
At the moment. But this has just been so hard fought, but I think the fight has finally run out. Like, I just don't see how you go up against a 6-item Aphelios at this stage. Against the Elder buff, against the Baron buff. Tahm Kench going in.
Deep ult here from Tahm Kench, going straight on towards the Soraka Silence. They're going to look for the slam dunk onto 1 key target. It's going to be onto Biopanther. Remove the heal. Elder goes bam! And they find more, because that's who they're looking for. Look at Chippies. He is such a strong man. Going for Rogue. He claps two together, says hello. It's Valentine's Day all over again. You can kiss and we can smile. Chippies does fall on down, but Elder and Baron are just such a huge stat advantage at this state of the game. No Nexus turret, only one survives. Shock, showing what Zoe can do on full force. So my God, what a game to close out tonight.
What an insanity. What just happened on Summoner's Rift? Direwolves pick up the W. It took them 51 minutes.
The longest game in the OPL this season by an extra 10 minutes, Spawn. We were stressed, I'm sure even the viewers were stressed, but those players, I don't even know what they need. They need a little bit of therapy. They need help.
They need a bit of a nap, I think. Those long games, they take a lot of energy out of you. However,
so much adrenaline, so much energy.
You got to give credit to the Direwolves because they stuck to their game plan, I feel like, for the majority of that game. Pentanet, they ebbed and flowed out of it. You could see they had this comp that attacked the side lane so well. When they executed upon that, it was really good. But with 2 inhibitors down, with the Elder buff, they just weren't able to swing Direwolves around the map, which is so strange to me, Skimmy, because that should be the easiest time to be able to do it when you have the superior stats. But you got to give credit to the Direwolves. They stayed firm and they were able to pick up a very much needed important W.
They take the win in this absolute fantastic matchup. The rivalry, the banter, it has been decided. It took 51 minutes to settle that beef. What a fantastic way to close out the very first night of week 5.
Hey, we ain't done yet. We still have some great paintings.
We do have some great paintings. The look on the faces of the Direwolves, it wasn't excitement, it wasn't joy, it was relief that they can leave and go home. My God, what a game.
Yeah, it was relief. It was probably one of the best games I can remember to recent memory, like of the excitement, the backwards and forwards. Could have ended, maybe not ended. It had everything, I think. And me and Rusty, we were actually talking about quantum mechanics and physics and all that.
I know, we were having a great
Yeah, we
chat.
actually were, believe it or not. And then the game just grabbed our attention and we stopped talking. And
We had to stop talking about quantum physics and start talking about League of Legends. Someone who obviously has been talking a lot about League of Legends, it's Shock. Well done, mate.
Thanks, I guess.
Yep, of course, it's me here as well with Shock.
Rusty's there too, but you knew that.
Yeah, no, I'm here with Shock. Congratulations on the win, of course.
Thanks.
It was a long,
Yeah.
very long game. So the first thing I'll keep it short, of course, it was a long game. Playing Zoe in that game felt like it was very difficult at a certain point. How did that feel for you, having to be stuck in side lanes constantly?
Yeah, I felt pretty sad like going to the sideline against Taliyah Pantheon, and also really sad when I'd queue someone and I get healed back to full. But at the end with Elder it was pretty fun. Just get to one-shot someone with my Q, yeah.
How was it into their draft? Was that something that you expected at all?
Well, I actually picked Zoe thinking it was Pantheon mid, because I think it's a pretty good matchup. But then, yeah, they played support, which wasn't something we expected. So, yeah, I think they had a really good draft.
And they did pretty well considering with that draft. It took it to the wire.
Yeah.
Let's speak a little bit broader with the Strokes here in terms of the league itself. You're now in that week 4 to 7 period where a lot of teams would say the honeymoon phase is gone in the league itself. Does having experience like you guys have over in the Direwolves camp, do you think it makes a difference? And is that like a part of why you're now getting these wins? It's 3 on the trot.
I think it's more that like I guess the experience helps. Like we've known what works in the past and when like you kind of want to go to comfort. But I think that a lot of the newer teams like can have a like fresher perspective. Like I think this game, for example, even though I think Pentanet are like a pretty weak team, I think they showed like that early game pressure and like globals like can be really strong, and like globals isn't something we've really experimented with. So it has like pros and cons. Yeah.
Okay, and my final question for you before we go back over and look at the end results of the paintings. Chippy's had an interview. Did you see that one with Snowball?
Yeah, I
He
saw
had
that.
very strong opinions on Pentanet. Do you
Yeah.
think that's still true after this game?
Well, I think the way Pentanet conducts themselves in scrims holds them back a lot, but I do think they have potential.
Okay, well, we'll leave it there and we'll head back over to the paintings to see the end results of that.
It got cold in here all of a sudden. I mean, Jake was right. No love lost between those two teams. I personally love it. I think everyone in this building likes each other too much. Then healthy competition, healthy rivalry. I'm going to spill some secrets that I know to really stir this pot. The paintings are done. Juves, You brought it back from the brink.
I would say there was never a brink. I would say it was, like I said, scaling.
Yeah.
Scaling.
Yeah.
Like, we just watched a 50-minute game and we were okay with that game scaling.
That's true.
But we weren't okay with my painting at the start of the day.
True.
Well, I think that during that 50-minute game, the players didn't swap out for better players. So I think that's probably where it was. But congratulations. I actually think it looks great.
I think it looks fantastic.
And
Someone actually, it's irking me.
please.
Someone,
Yeah, where did that come from? I turned around and I looked back and
you're
suddenly it's
flicking
there.
something with black paint on it.
I've never. No. That was not me. That was not Rusty.
What is it?
He flicked black paint onto the nose of my painting.
Oh, I mean, that wasn't us.
That is slander. That wasn't me. You know who it was? Bloody Jake.
Yeah,
Again,
when we were
he
out,
hates
Jake was
noses.
casting the game.
He hates noses.
Yeah.
No, well done. And this is where you can compliment mine.
You know what, dude? It's actually not that bad.
Except for the fact that I've made him Indian. Like, he's just, the shade is completely off.
He went to the Bahamas, came back, that's it.
He did, he's just got a really good tan. Look, I'm proud of what I did. I think it's probably the best painting job that I've done. Year over year, we're just improving our skills.
We are
with
improving.
this. It's very exciting. I've loved having you here as well.
I've loved being here with you.
Good. All right, let's take a look at the games that we saw today because I love those as well. The results from today, please. Avant versus Chiefs, game number 1. Chiefs take out the win there. Legacy dominating order pretty thoroughly for game number 2. Mammoth versus Gravitas. Mammoth taking their first win of the split for game 3. And finally, the secret banger. We didn't know it was the game we were going to love, but it was Pentanet.gg versus Direwolves. Direwolves coming out on top and still throwing shade right up until the last 10 seconds.
That was a nice, cheeky little comment at the end.
Yes.
That's definitely a rivalry now, though.
Let
you can't
the hate flow through you, please.
thrive in it.
Thrive in it. You have enjoyed our art. We would love to enjoy your art as well because we are running the OPL anime competition. This, of course, is the competition where we have the anime credits at the end of every broadcast. And we want you involved as well for your chance to win a Blood Moon Champion skin. Just create an original OPL-themed artwork in an anime style. Submit it using the hashtag OPL anime on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. You get the Blood Moon skin, and if you don't own the champ, then you also get the champ. Pretty good deal.
I have a question.
Please.
Am I able to register in the OPL animes with my anime picture?
I think you technically...
I can,
Oh,
right?
with that.
For sure.
It's an original artwork.
Yeah, for sure.
OPL themed because it's an OPL viewer. I reckon you should
I'm
totally
submitting
add
it.
it.
I'm submitting it.
You're submitting it. All right. There's nothing we can do to stop you. I think that's basically it, except for the fact that we've got the MPL.
I'll see you there.
Is this the first MPL you've been a part of?
Yes, I believe it is. I
It
believe
is?
so, yeah, it is.
Okay, well, we will be back with the MPL in a second, but we will be back with more League of Legends tomorrow. Let's take a look at the games that we will be playing. Or we won't be playing, other people will be playing. We'll be watching and probably talking about stupid questions from the Nick Bag. The first game is Chiefs versus Order for game 1. Gravitas take on Direwolves for game 2. Avant Gaming versus PGG, game 3. And finally, Legacy versus Mammoth for game 4. Juice, you won't be here. Which one are you excited for?
I think the Chiefs Order game will be a banger. I think Order, there's a couple of things Order can fix overnight.
Yep.
To make them more competitive against the top teams. So hopefully their Order and their coaching staff can actually fix those things.
Yep.
And then we'll be in for an absolute belter.
Rusty, you have a slice.
First of all, I have so much room. This
Yeah.
is the best. Like, I have so much couch. And I was going to say congratulations to Order for being able to upset the undefeated Chiefs because they go 1-1 every week.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was
They
thinking.
lost today.
That's not the game of the day tomorrow. We know the result of that one already.
Yeah.
All right, we are excited for having you guys here. Thank you very much for enjoying the painting. These ones will go pride of place. Congratulations, Carl and Dugon Doodoo. I mean, I'm fine with saying the word Carl all the time, but Dugon Doodoo, that feels like, can we get a real name for this one? Because I can't refer
Just
to
call him Dugong.
Dugon?
Yeah, Dugon.
That works. You'll take pride of place somewhere in the studio. We are excited to have you as part of the OPL broadcast, and the broadcast continues right after this with the MPL. See you then.
For PGG just does not die. This could be the fight. This could be the moment. Chippies falls on down. It's going to be a bloodbath, however, because Direwolves find the kills they need. They want more. They'll find more. Chicos are up and available a little bit earlier right now. They're going to dive on in with the aggression. They're going to find the shutdown on the Shock. No more trouble bubbles for them to contest with. The Baron was a dance. Prayer Sue so below. He has to fall on down. Vital cannot get it. They're going towards the turret, but Vital is the one to fall on down. Sully takes him out of the
Get
fight.
back.
Straight away, get back. is looking for it. He could be the hero. Going from 0 to hero in this situation when they defended that base last time as Rogue jumps on in. Does he have the flash? He turns his attention towards Chippies, and he is now a non-factor. He's got nowhere to run. He's going to stand on that redemption. He needs one heal. He needs the team to jump in. Sully! He just deletes Shock! There's nothing he can do. Decoy foists the back away. And what looked like a gank attempt turns into something so different. Deep ult here from Tom Kench going straight on towards the Soraka silence. They're going to look for the slam dunk onto one key target. It's going to be onto Bipanther. Remove the heal. Elder goes bam. And they find more because that's who they're looking for. Look at Chippies. He is such a strong man. Going for Rogue. He claps two together, says hello. It's Valentine's Day all over again. Shock showing what Zoe can do on full force. Oh my God, what a game to close out tonight.
Feeling the heat? Grab a pineapple or pineberry frozen Fanta mix at Macca's. With 36 flavours, it's the largest range in Australia. Grab one for only $1. A little goes a long way at Macca's.